Hi, I'm Heidi. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Today I'm going to be talking about specific things that you can do to continue to be productive in the face of strong emotions in the workplace. Let's take a look. In order to really think about productivity in the workplace, we really need to look at how the brain works. So if we were to use a fist as a model of the brain, which I know obviously is not perfect, and you were to think of this as the front part of your head and the front part of your brain, this is where the prefrontal cortex is located. And that's what I call the thinking center part of your brain. This is where we think logically, we take in new information. This is really the part of our brain that we rely on in order to be productive. The challenge is when we experience strong emotions either within ourselves or with the people around us, another part of the brain is activated, and that is, if you look inside of your fist where the thumb is located, that is the limbic system. It's a little lower in the brain. It's in charge of your emotional regulation. And so when we're experiencing intense emotions, or we see someone or we're around someone who's having intense emotions, the limbic system becomes activated. And for some people, it becomes so activated that it almost behaves like a fist, where it impairs the prefrontal cortex's ability to function as well as optimally. Our task is to figure out how to calm the limbic system down so that we can re-access the thinking part of our brain. The first thing I recommend that you do before you actually go to work, whether or not you work from home or you work in an office or anywhere else, is to look at your internal resources. I like to use the analogy of a gas tank. If you've had a good night's sleep, if you've had a decent meal, if you're feeling relatively balanced and emotionally and mentally clear, that probably means that your gas tank is full. Now, if you've had not a very good night's sleep, or perhaps if you have something on your mind that's taking up a little bit of your attention, your gas tank might be half full. And then obviously, if something is taking up all of your attention, you're very preoccupied with something, or if you're in a lot of physical pain, and you're really not able to be present, then obviously your gas tank is on empty. Doing that self-assessment, it helps inform you as to how you need to support yourself in the workplace, especially in the face of emotional intensity. There's one more self-assessment I suggest that you do, and that is, what is your tolerance for emotional distress in general? Is it low, is it medium, or is it high? So for example, if you've had a lot of trauma in your life or you have a chaotic home situation, your tolerance for emotional distress might be quite low. And conversely, when you're around people that are emotional or if you're feeling strong emotions, if it doesn't really trigger you, then your tolerance is quite high. And some of us might be right there in the middle. So if you look at going to work with your gas tank half full with a very low tolerance for strong emotions, then you're going to definitely need to utilize as many supports and tools as you can to be able to remain productive in the workplace with strong emotions at play. So now we're at work, and there might be some things going on that are evoking strong emotions in you or in people around you. The very first step that you want to take is to notice what part of your body is getting your attention when you're getting emotionally triggered. For some people, it might be their breathing, or their heart might start racing. For other people, it might be their stomach getting tense, or they start perspiring. Once you notice that, if you're able and if it's comfortable, you can place your hand on that part of your body just to send signals of safety. It's also a way of being conscious of the fact that you are getting triggered. The second thing that you want to do is to change your breathing and become more intentional. So if you notice that your heart is racing or your stomach is tense, you also want to slow your breathing down and slowly inhale through your nose. Hold your breath for a few moments, and then even more slowly exhale through your mouth. Now, if you do that a few times, also while placing your hand wherever the tension is, it sends signals to your brain and also to your body that it's supposed to slowly calm down. And this will slow down some of the racing thoughts that you might be having about what you want to say, what you want to do, and will actually lessen the likelihood of you acting impulsively. The other thing that you might do if you're in a situation where you feel like you're going to have an emotional response to whatever is happening around you is to utilize a pause moment. Take yourself outside, take yourself to the bathroom, excuse yourself from whoever you're with, and take that moment to look in the mirror if you're in the bathroom and to really consciously breathe, try to get your body to calm down, and also to think about what it is that you want to feel or accomplish after the scenario is over. So if you want to feel like you held on to your control in that emotionally charged situation, that will also be your guide to when you go back in as to how you're going to behave. So you take that moment to clarify what it is that you want to feel afterwards. If you're in a situation where either your boss or a colleague is acting with hostility, it's really important to have some very neutral statements prepared in advance that you may have even rehearsed to avoid responding with really strong emotion. Let me give you an example. If somebody says something that's very critical, you can say a neutral statement like, "That's a very strong statement. I think I need a moment to absorb that." Or, "You seem like you have some really strong opinions about that. Give me a second." Or you could even be very direct but respectfully say, "That felt like criticism. I'd really appreciate it if you said it more kindly." Staying calm in those moments is very challenging, but if you've planned some of the ways that you might respond in advance, it can help you think on your feet. Now, if you're feeling very sad, like you're going to cry, and it's a very public situation or it's an inopportune time to cry, one of the things that you might try is taking your hand and very subtly putting it on your belly button and almost turning it like you're turning a knob to imagine yourself dialing down your sadness so that you're acknowledging your sadness. It's still going to be there, but you're dialing down the intensity so that you're able to navigate the situation without feeling like you're losing control. Using these methods takes practice, and it is not easy, but it's a good place to start. I wish you luck in navigating strong emotions at work. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, be real and be well.